Hello everyone, my name is Pacha, and in this video I want to give you a short overview over all the new things that come with the free update 1.14 releasing together with the Arid Animal DLC on the 20th of June. So if you're watching this video on Monday, then this DLC and the update will release tomorrow. In this video I want to show you all the new things that came, as I said, with the update. And a short disclaimer, this is only the stuff that Frontier publicly announced for all of you and also for me. If there are other secret changes or changes that they reveal with the patch notes on the 20th of June, I'm not aware of it. No creator, as far as I know, is aware of it, as we don't have these patch notes until the pack is officially released and the update is officially released. Also, a big shout out and thank you to Frontier themselves for providing me with the DLC and the pack prior to its release, for giving me early access so that I can give you an overview over everything. There will also be a video out there at the same time as this video goes live, going over all the new stuff from the new Animal Pack DLC. So if you are interested in seeing what's in the pack and if it's worth for you to buy it, I highly recommend watching this video too. So without further ado, let's start in. The first thing you want to talk about is, of course, the free pieces or plans that come with the DLC. And for that, I have to say this time the amount of free stuff is a bit on the shorter side, as we don't get any new free building construction pieces or building pieces as far as I'm aware. Of course, I can miss something among the thousands and thousands of pieces we have already, but we are getting 4 new plans, each with 3 variants. 2 of these plans are extensions of plans we already have. For one, there is the creosote bush. We already had a type of creosote bush, 1, 2, 3. Now we are getting 4, 5 and 6 and with this lovely green color here. But we are also getting a dry variant of the creosote bush from North America in 3 different sizes, so you can even make some dead plants and dead debris lying around in your habitats if you wish so. The same goes for the Nitria retusa bush. We already had variants of this, I think a blooming variant of this bush with the base game. Now we're getting a more dry or more leafy variant of this bush in 3 different sizes, as well as 3 dry versions, dead versions of this bush, and also in 3 different sizes. I have to say, as I said, a little bit on the smaller side this time with 3 plants and everything, but still these bushes and especially the dead variants are very cool for some cinematic shots and some cinematic habitats which look a bit more desolated and as the pack implies, arid. So really nice. Would have wished for more, maybe a tree or more, 1 tree or more, but still it's a nice roster. The next thing, and I think this is the big thing everyone was waiting for so many years, is, as you can see, this staff member, this keeper, has a different color from its normal variant, which of course is the brown variant, because we can finally now change the colors of our staff members, of our whole group of vets, security people, keepers, and so on. We can now finally change their colors. And we can make, as you can see also here in the background with this, with this caretaker, we can change their colors as we like. And there are 2 ways to do that. One, of course, is a very simple one. We can just click on one. Let's go for this lovely vet here. And now you see in the bottom corner, you see color options for their jacket, shoes, trousers, and gloves. This is different for each staff member. For them we have jacket, trousers and shoes, and if we click on them and we just select a color, we can basically simply change these up whatever and however we like and however we feel right that the hell should look, which is very cool. But if you say, okay, I want to have all my keepers have 1 color, I want to have all my security guards have 1 color, then you can also go into the zoo tab, into the staff tab, and then there is a new folder over here called Staff Uniforms, and if you click on that, you get an overview over all available staff members, and then you can basically click on default to get them back to default, or you can change their colors here. For example, let's go a little bit crazy with the colors like that, and then you can click on apply to staff type, and then all staff members, all vet members will have this color, so you don't have to individually select them. Also, you can also here apply uniform to all new hired staff. So if you're now employing a new veterinarian, you can they will of course already keep the colors you selected, but if you don't want that, you can of course deactivate that, and if you then select a new veterinarian, they will have the default colors. Really cool, really helps to personalize our zoos even more. You can go as crazy as you like, make them all pink or all blue, whatever you like, whatever you feel fits for your staff. And I'm really happy about this change. We have waited for it for a very long time, and yeah, really cool. And let's go on to the next point. The next point, or the next new change to this game, as you already saw it just a second ago, is that certain animals in the game can now spit at guests. You just saw our llama spitting at these guests here. And the same applies for the Bacterian camel from the base game, as well as the dromedary camel from the new Arid Animal Pack. So at certain points it's very random, and I will most likely also play another clip here over this footage of me recording it a little bit earlier, because it really, there's no indicator when it happens. It just happens from time to time. They will spit at the guests. That will not have a negative impact on these guests. You can, oh, there was again. They bounce a little bit back and maybe make some noises, but really it doesn't have a negative impact on the guests in any way or form. It's just a nice little gimmick to make your zoos feel more alive, because of course these animals spit also in real life if you annoy them a little bit too much. So really cool. There is no way to force it. It is just happening, as I said, at random times. I don't know what is going here. Maybe the path is too small. But yeah, really cool new feature to bring more life and more movement into our zoos, to create maybe some funny moments with when your guests get spit on by these animals. As I said, this goes for the llama, the Bacterian camel, and the new dromedary camel. So all camelids we have in the game can now spit. I don't know if the babies can spit, I haven't seen that so far, but really cool to see, and yeah, new feature. And now let's go over to the new camera modes. There's a reason that this update is called the YouTuber update or the content creator update, because we are getting 2 new camera modes, cinematic camera modes, to play around with in your game. And you find both of them under here, under the standard camera modes tab, next to our atmospheric conditions and our camera effects. Now we see there are 2 new options here, the scenic mode and the cinematic route editor. And the scenic mode is really very simple. You just click on it and you get this little marker here. Then you can click on any point in your zoo, and now the camera starts to spin around on this point. With this spin option here, you can also go out, and it will spiral slowly out, getting you a more wider overview over everything, and then it spins down back again to this point. You also have an orbit camera with just stays on this point, basically it stays fixated to the point you selected, and then you get the spiral point, which very slowly spirals out from the point you selected. There's also another one which is more zoomed out, and you can also zoom in again if you want, but yeah, it very slowly gets wider and wider, very slowly. I would wish it would go a little bit faster, and it's almost not noticeable that it even does this, and it almost looks like the spin again, but it, as it implies, it spirals out very slowly over time. The second one is requires a little bit more work, and this is the cinematic route editor. This new lovely thing here, where you can basically make your own cinematic camera routes, cinematic short movie routes, and you can of course have multiple of them. You can select as many as you like, and you can of course rename them as you want. And then you have this here, add keyframe. Now this works as follows. If you are click on add keyframe, it selects the point you are currently looking at. So it selects the height you're currently at with your mouse and camera here and the direction you're clicking. So we can click on this, add keyframe. Now you can see we have this lovely camera symbol over here. If you then go with the camera a little bit further and select another keyframe, it creates another one and creates a line connecting these two. That we can do whatever you like. We can also go a little bit like this and add another keyframe over here, so you can see the camera is now pointing towards that. Or we can even go zoom a little bit out and add another one, and then you see that. It also, as I said, it always adds a new keyframe, a new point wherever you are pointing the camera at the moment when you are doing that. Now we have done that we can of course always go in and also say we want to loop the route. So once we are done, it goes back to here. Or we can also say hide UI, also this thing here over here while we are playing. Or you can click on it, and then you can see it automatically follows this line that we created and follows this path. If we say hide and we say loop that route, we can also click again and then it will loop. We can also slow the speed very slow, or we can make it very fast as we like. And what we can also do, if we say, okay, we want to have this was a bit low here, so we go in and we create this. We can also move these camera positions as we like. We can go maybe like this, maybe a little bit up, and this was a little bit low, so we can go a little bit higher here and maybe point towards that direction. And you can see this white line indicates where the camera will go. So if we now follow this route and make it a little bit faster, it will now follow this camera and turn around to get to these other points and then up again like that. But there is also even more that you can do. Maybe if you want to, I will do a full tutorial on this if I figured it out a little bit more myself. Let me know in the comments if you want a full tutorial on the whole thing. You can of course go in and select any keyframe you selected. So these four, for example, that we have here, and then you can change individual stuff about them. You can make it speed modifier, so this camera goes a little bit farther from this point to this point. You can make that it rolls basically like this. You can go into a zoom mode that it zooms, and you can also say jump 2 keyframes, so it will make a straight line looking then like this. Whoop, and no, not without a camera tour between them, so it will just automatically jump between these two. Or we can go in and say use camera target to, if we want to have more more control over where the camera is pointing. So this means the camera is pointing at that point, and we can select this point even better to have a better control over where the camera is looking at. Or we can select pause. Let's do it for this one. Let's pause, and if we now play this here, like that, whoop, this camera will not move further until you press the space bar is in English, and if you press the space bar, the camera moves further. You can add as many keyframes as you like. There is no limit to that as far as I know. You can, as I said, make a really long tour. It also tells you how long this takes with these 16.5 seconds here, so you know the whole tour will take 16.5 seconds. Of course we have this here, it's faster, whoop, and then it would loop back when it's done. As I said, you can also name them, and really cool tool, especially for content creators, for creating some nice cinematic shots. As I said, it requires a little bit of work and a little bit time to get into everything, especially with the camera positions and how everything loops, because as I said, it always tries to connect to the next camera in the best way possible, and this can as I said, it can sometimes create some points where you are going underground or in pieces, so you have to really look into it. So this is everything as far as I'm aware from all new big things from update 1.14. As I said, coming out for everyone, or releasing for everyone on the 20th of June. So if you're watching this Monday, tomorrow. And yeah, I hope you liked this little overview and it helped you to see what options you have with this update. And if you do so, maybe consider giving this video a like. And if you feel especially happy, maybe also consider subscribing to the channel. We are getting really fast towards 1,000 subscribers, and you can be a part of the team. So thank you everyone for supporting me. And yeah, I hope you had fun. I did, and I hope I see you in the next video, which will release tomorrow to celebrate with the release of the Arid Animal Pack. So be here for that, and until then, have a great time, stay safe, and goodbye everyone.